You begin each game of Vantage on an intergalactic vessel heading towards an uncharted planet. After crashing far from your companions, you have complete freedom as to how you explore, discover, and interact with the planet. You view your location from a first-person perspective, and you can communicate with and support other players, but you are separated by vast distances, so only you can see your current location. Vantage is an open-world cooperative non-campaign adventure game that features an entire planet to explore, with players communicating while scattered across the world. With nearly 800 interconnected locations on 400 cards and over 900 other discoverable cards, the world is your sandbox.
Welcome back to Unbox and Conquer. Today we have Vantage by Stonemeyer Games, designed by Jamie Stegmaier. This is a open world sci-fi explorer game where you crash land on a planet and then you kind of just go off into the world and follow whatever the cards tell you, which you will see in a second. I also have all the upgrades, the player boards, coins, and wooden tokens. So this, and they numbered this, there's 50,000 of these, and I have 22,856. That's this current one. So let's open her up. There's not a whole lot to say, so that you crash land, and then you kind of go off on your own. I know this is a very card-heavy game, and you do not shuffle these at all, so that's nice. You can hear my chair squeaking. Alright, here we go. I'm not going to say this is spoilers when we get into this, because it's kind of like a video game random seed generator, where you probably won't go the same path that I show you unless you feel like it. Alright, so there we go. That's kind of in the way. So you get a player board, which is kind of like cardstock, but it feels strong. This is I will show you a basic setup towards the end. So you get your tokens if you do not have the upgraded pack. So these are your money chits, and these are your skill circles. Then you get the meat of the game, which are these books. So we will rip open this little piece of paper. So here's your rule book, which this game isn't overly complex. You usually just go to a card and do what the card says. So each book is color-coded, which will make more sense soon. So you'll have a card, which we will show examples here soon, and then you're going to go to the book and find out what you're doing, except for this one. This one is a depart book. This is when you're using the asterisk symbol on the cards, which we will get to. We will get to it. So those are the story books, and we have the Book of Secrets. And then we have the Book of Vantages, which we will just flip to a random page so you get an idea. Ooh, pretty. And of course, rule book. So this is the majority of the game. You're going to have these cards. Here's your boost tokens, and then your player health, morale, and stamina? No, time. And then you have your spoiler pack, which you do not open until instructed. So we will not be opening this. These are your Vantage cards. Now everything's going to have these numbers here. So I'm not going to open those just yet. Then you have these little card stands, which we will open soon. And here we have a whole bunch of dice. So you roll these for card effects. And these are all engraved. Yep, I like these. These are good dice. I also like the organization in this box. I will not need a... See, we got this empty box for our punch outs. And we have our skill dice. So, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot to this game. It's like cards and books. Cards and books. But these are all in a specific order, these cards, but we can at least show off some. I just realized that the light stand leg is in frame. Alright, so here we go. We'll use this. So you'll have... There we are. When you're playing the game, no one else is seeing what you're seeing. So your card sits in front of you like this. It's got some flavor text. Now you want to tell everybody what you're seeing. You can read the thing. A tent is set up on the most precarious of locations, but it seems to be securely strapped to the ledge. You'd be like, I see a red tent on a cliff. So on this card, you can do these actions, but you want to make a decision on your action. That is it. So if we're going to say we're on this location and we want to enter the tent, we grab the move book. After we go to card 131 to find the card number. All right, there it is. And it's going to cost me 2 either blue tokens or blue tokens, or I have to roll 2 of these black dice. And then do whatever the dice consequences. I could lose a health, I could gain a health. There are player cards in here as well. And then you will read the actions, which I'm not going to go into too much detail. I don't want to just spoil it just for the hell of it, but that is basically the gist of the game. You go to a place, you decide what you want to do at that place. You get 1 action per turn. And then when you want to leave, you can either go to card 130 or you can go to the asterisk, which is where you get the depart book. But these have to stay in a special order so that you can find where they get. During play, they sit like this in the box. This is, what is this? This is a blank. This is just telling you to put this here so that you can obscure the view from others. So this will be like a starter card for when you crash land on the planet. And then you're going to go here. You can tell people what it looks like. And then you will roll 2 of these little dice to decide on which card you are going to start with. But this stays here like the whole game. And then as you go through, you'll put a new card in front of it. And that will hide the back of the card from the rest of the players so that they don't get spoiled if they end up going to that location. So we'll put that right there. Get that right there. So that is the gist of it. And then these in the box, you can't tell because I don't have it up. It tells you the numbers of what cards go in these slots. Like I said, you do not shuffle these. They have to stay in a certain order or you'll never find them again. There are player cards. I just have to figure out where they are. I mean, we just opened it, so let's start with this stack. Ah, here we are. We found the player cards. I can rip the paper. Okay. There are 6 characters. Okay, these are not player cards. I was wrong. These are item cards. Crap. Alright, let's put those back. Somewhere in here will be character cards. They have to be, is this character cards? Character cards! We found them. We found them. So you get 6 character cards, and they're going to be based on colors, because this is a very color-centric game. I'm sorry. These are not the character cards. These are the character cards, but they're not. These are the placeholder cards. So say I went to this location right there, and I'm playing the blue character. Now I know where to put the card back when I am done with that location. It's kind of like a little bookmark. But we gotta be able to find the character somewhere. Come on, man. I gotta show these off. People are waiting. Nope, those aren't it either. That's crazy. I figured they would be right up front since the... Anyway, we'll jump into this earlier. This is an addition, an upgrade. Which, I have to get the knife. I don't know how YouTube feels about knives, so we're going to play it safe. Okay, so this is a upgrade you can buy off the thing. These are the player boards, and on the player boards are the character cards. So if you're like me and can't find them, you can just hand these out and you can play. Now, you don't have to play the blue character with the blue board. You could, once you find the cards, just lay them in here. These are dual layered. And they're all asymmetric characters. And these is where you can put the dice, tokens, actions they can do. And they're all slightly different. I kind of want to play the big mean red person. Tina the Marine. She looks pretty cool. I don't know if these will fit in the box. No. Because the books are gonna... We'll figure that out at the end. So this is pretty much what's in here. All these locations. Now these... I don't really have much to say, except this is quality cards. There's absolutely nothing wrong with them. But Stonemaier makes good games. Their quality is always good. You do not need to sleeve these either, because you don't shuffle anything. So for all the sleevers out there, I am one of them. It's a sad day. There's 900 cards in here, by the way, according to the back of the box. There's 900 cards, 21 missions, 600 locations. Let's see what this is. So this is just a blank card, basically, that tells you what goes in this slot. So you can use that as a placeholder for when you're pulling out various cards. There are 2 win conditions. You can either complete the mission. Actually, there's like 3. You can complete a mission, complete a destiny, or an epic victory is completing a mission and the destiny. So there are quite a lot you can do with this game, but like I said, it's kind of like a choose your own adventure with some dice rolling and some cooperation with your fellow teammates. I am all over the place in this review, but that's okay. I'm not a big YouTuber yet, so I don't have to be perfect. So these are wood. These are nice thick wood screen printed tokens. I do like that they have symbols on them for people who are colorblind. I am not colorblind, but I don't know, I enjoy seeing when creators factor that into their games, because not everybody has the ability to see colors. So making games accessible is always a bonus, and I do not think these are going to fit into this little box. We can get most of them in. Maybe if we took them out. Come on, this is part of the reboxing part. Maybe it's because of the baggies. Let me just squish them in there. Nope, that's as far as we're going on that one. Alright, so squish those in there, and they can go right there. Go right there. Alright, so I'm kind of reboxing it now that you've seen it. I'm not going to flip through all the cards. Like I said, this is a game where you don't really want to be spoiled on what's happening. So we'll take these and put them back in there. The book of Vantages. The rule book. Almost forgot the secret spoiler one. And we forgot the tokens. These are also wood, by the way, which we should put back in the box. There we go. There we go. We're not doing this right. Okay, so the metal coins. Now, I watched a few playthroughs, and nobody got... These things are on there. You really used the coins. But some of the cards did mention that if you have the coins, you could do certain things. Because there are people on this planet. That's a spoiler, it's not a barren planet. So these are nice and metal. So there's 10s, 2s, 5s, and 1s. 1s are like a copper color. 10s are more of a golder bronze color. And 2s are grayish silver. And 5s are blue. Where can I put these? I'm going to slot them in like so. There we go. It's fitting in there. Kind of. No? Doesn't like that? Doesn't like that either? Come on. I need you to get in here. We gotta show the people that we can get all the stuff back in the box. Alright, books. Yes, these are definitely not gonna fit without lid lift. So, we'll put the mat back on. This is where you will put your like little heart icons and all that. Okay, so these, yeah, we're gonna have some lid lift, people. Unavoidable, but not too bad. Let's see. The lid lifts is gonna be about that much. If you have the additional boards. If you don't have the boards, the box will shut perfectly fine. So that is Vantage. I'm looking forward to going on some sci-fi adventures, just wandering a planet. It'll be the first time I've done that in a non-video game setting. So if you enjoyed this unboxing, please like and subscribe. We're working on getting to 1,000, and I will see you in the next one.
You have complete and a card. Amazon drove by. Give me my package at least. All right, let's do that again.